professional wrestling's first black star, the one and only, in profile on Black Wrestling News. JYD, the Junkyard Dog. So exactly who was the Junkyard Dog? Gone but never forgotten, forever etched in the minds of those who loved and have known him down through the years. His real name is Sylvester Ritter. He was born on December 13th, 1952, and sadly he passed away on June 1st, 1998. Sylvester Ritter, he was, as I said, professional wrestling's first black star. And as a professional wrestler, he was loved by millions around the world. As a college football player, best known for his work in Mid-South Wrestling, and the World Wrestling Federation as the Junkyard Dog, or JYD, a nickname he received while working in a wrecking yard. He was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2004. So I'm going to be talking about many facets of JYD, or the Junkyard Dog, about his college football career, professional wrestling career, his untimely death, along with the championships and his accomplishments. So let's get right down to it. The Junkyard Dog. I'm Todd Tanner. This is Black Wrestling News. Entering the ring with his trademark chain attached to a dog collar, to the music of Queen's Another One Bites the Dust. JYD often headlined cards that drew large crowds and regularly sold out the Louisiana Superdome and other major venues, becoming the first black wrestler to be made the undisputed top star of his promotion. WWE author Brian Shields called Junkyard Dog one of the most electrifying and charismatic wrestlers in the country. Particularly during his peak in the early 1990s, JYD was most known for his headbutt and upper body strength, the latter of which saw him regularly body slam such large wrestlers as the One-Man Gang, Kamala, and King Kong Bundy. The word thump, which referred to JYD's power slam, was prominently displayed on his wrestling trunks. So how did it all start for Sylvester Ritter, aka Junkyard Dog? Well, I want to talk about his college career here. Ritter played football at Fayetteville State University twice, earning honorable mention All-Star status. And as a member of the Sports Hall of Fame, he graduated with a political science degree. Now, you know what's unique about that? Because that was unheard of way back then, that a black professional wrestler was college educated and could brawl with the best of them on any given day of the week. How did it all start for JYD? Well, his early career started between 1976 and 1980. Those are the years I'm going to focus on in this part right here. Ritter debuted in the Tennessee Territory, working for promoter Jerry Jarrett, before moving to Nick Gala's company and using the ring name Leroy. Some of this stuff you can't make up before using the ring name Leroy Rochester. From there, he moved to Stu Hart's Stampede Wrestling as Big Daddy Ritter, where he captured the North American Heavyweight Championship twice. Not a small feat for a brother in the 70s. I mean, that's one of the most powerful things that you could ever see happen for a brother during that time. So he was a trendsetter, pioneer, groundbreaking superstar. So that's his early career. Now let's journey down to the NWA Mid-South Wrestling with Bill Watts from 1980 to 1984. In the early 1980s, Ritter moved to Mid-South Wrestling where Booker Cowboy Bill Watts gave him the name and gimmick, Junkyard Dog, as he would wear a long chain attached to a dog collar and white boots. He originally came to the ring pushing a cart filled with junk called the Junk Wagon, and lost most of his early matches before his character caught on and became the top face in the company. While on top, he feuded with some of the top heels in the company, including a now infamous angle with the fabulous Freebirds, where they blinded him with hair cream. At the peak of the feud, JYD's wife gave birth to their first child, which was made part of the storyline. It was explained that JYD could not see his new daughter, something that increased the heat on the Freebirds to the point where they needed police escorts in and out of arenas. The feud ended with the still blinded JYD and Freebird leader Michael P.S. Hayes wrestling in a steel cage dog collar match. You know, I never liked the Freebirds. Might as well tell you now. And I'll tell you why in a later video. I never liked Michael P.S. Hayes and the Freebirds with their Confederate waving flags. Personally, I always have believed that they're a bunch of racists. And that's my opinion, and I'm not taking it back. Other notable feuds involve Ernie Ladd, Ted DiBiase, Kamala, King Kong Bundy, and Butch Reed. And I'm going to talk about a lot of these things. The 1982 feud with DiBiase was particularly noticeable as DiBiase, once JYD's friend and tag team partner, turned heel and subsequently won a loser leaves town match against JYD with the help of the loaded glove, which was DiBiase's calling card at the time, forcing JYD to leave town for an extended period of time. In 1982, JYD was involved in a cross-promotion match for NWA and AWA, or the National Wrestling Alliance, or All American Wrestling Association, AWA, against Nick Bockwinkel, that aired on NWA Mid-South Wrestling, an AWA program in which he won by pinfall. A masked man physically resembling JYD known as Stagger Lee subsequently appeared in the region and began to defeat the competition one by one, including DiBiase. Though DiBiase and the other heels strongly suspected that Stagger Lee was in fact JYD, they weren't able to unmask him to prove their suspicions. Stagger Lee disappeared once the loser leave town clause in the JYD DiBiase match had expired, and JYD returned and reclaimed the North American Heavyweight Championship. The feud with Reed was notable in that Reed was a protege of JYD. Had turned heel. Reed, with the help of Buddy Landel, attacked the dog many times. On a couple of occasions, they covered the dog in chicken feathers. The two had a series of matches. Many of the bouts were for the prize North American Heavyweight Championship. These matches were also notable for their brutality, which included ghetto street fights and dog collar matches, 2 out of 3 pinfall matches, and steel cage matches. JYD was lured to the WWF at the peak of the feud with Butch Reed. In part 2 of the JYD saga, I'll talk about how he came to the then known as the World Wrestling Federation from 1984 to 1988. For Black Wrestling News, I'm Todd Tanner.